Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, round two. Let's try this again before Onyx started barking. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for showing your love and support by clicking on it. I really appreciate it. And if you want to help me out in any way, just make sure you give us a thumbs up button to help us out. My name is Becca, if you've never been here before, and this is my little puppy Onyx. Are you gonna say hi? No, he's not. I'm sorry. He's not used to this. But without further ado, let's get into it. Real quick before I jump into this video, I am sorry if you hear background noise. My window is open, that's like right behind this, and I'm not closing it because it's like 80 degrees out. I don't know why I didn't turn on my air conditioning, but here we are. This video is getting up and it filmed today because I've been trying to film this video for a month, but every time I've sat down and filmed it, I wasn't ready to tell the story yet, and I left out, you know, details that didn't need to be left out. So let's get into it finally. I'm not going to name the people that I was with just for their privacy. I don't want to, you know, have people messaging them asking them about this. So there were two people that were with me. They were both males. I was the only girl. So the one person this happened to when the other person really wasn't involved as much. Do not try and figure out where this location was. If you know where it is, just, you know, like, I don't want this to be focused on where the place this was at, because it could have happened anywhere and it could have happened to anyone. And of course, it was just the people that I was with. But I don't want to say the people's names that I was with to respect their privacy. So with all of that being said, please respect this restaurant/bar. Please respect the other people in the story and just take the main message away from it. Okay? All right, cool. Let's get into it. Finally. Okay, so it's super hot. I'm gonna sit here and drink some water, so I suggest that you go grab something to drink too, because this is probably gonna be like a longer-ish, you know, story. So anyways, we were in Daytona Beach for the Daytona truck meet. Onyx, what are you doing? Okay, so we were in Daytona and we just were going out one night. I wasn't carrying or anything like that because I was drinking and I'm not irresponsible. So we went to a couple different places, and then this was probably around 9 p.m. This was like one of the last bars that we went to because it has a bar that opens up right on the beach, and it's just a really cool vibe of the bar, and you know, you can go walk the beach after you're done with your drink. So we're just like, okay, yeah, this seems like a great place to go. We get there, you know, we met some of you guys, we met some of people that came up to us and they recognized us, and we were just like bullshitting with them and hanging out. It was the day before the show actually started, so everyone was just starting to get into town. So once we walked away from the bar, we walked outside, and I did draw you guys a diagram, so I'm going to be flashing this periodically. So we started out right here, which is the part of the bar where we were talking to people at, and then we migrated outside, which is right here. We sat at a table all the way in the corner this is like beach down here. So we sat all the way in this corner. We were sitting out there, and then one of the people that we were with went up and smoked a cigarette outside, and like you would smoke kind of like right by this balcony area right there. So like he was probably about 5 feet away from us. And then we had another person come up to us that knew us from social media, so we were just sitting there talking with them, you know, bullshitting, everything like that. And then the other male that I was with, let's name him, I don't know, some name that is not Chad. Okay, his name's Chad now. So Chad and his friend are now standing at the balcony. I'm sitting at this table talking with this person, no big worries. But there was another gentleman that walked up to Chad and the other kid that was standing right there. So this gentleman, he did not look like he fit in. By no means am I trying to like pick somebody out of the crowd or appearance mean something, but like he was wearing super loose pants. His shirt was down to like, it was like down all the way like down here, you know, like it was a very long shirt, and it was just, he didn't fit in with the crowd. Like he had like a flat brim hat on, like everybody was in like beach attire and like Hawaiian shirts and shit, and then there's this dude who looks like he was from the inner city, which okay, whatever, you know, like wear whatever you want. So I'm just sitting here at that table still talking, you know, just bullshitting, and then all of a sudden Chad starts looking very uncomfortable. Like he was turning away from this other individual that started talking to Chad and Chad's friend. Like they were talking while Chad's friend was smoking a cigarette. Also, quick note, I'm sorry if I'm stuttering. Like I have a very bad stuttering problem. I had years of like speech in school to like try and take care of it. So I'm so sorry if you hear me stuttering. Like this is the way I talk, and just don't think any differently of the story, because when I'm trying to tell a story and like recollect things, it comes out even more stuttered because I'm trying to like, my hamster is trying to work. But anyway, so all of a sudden Chad's friend walks into the bar in this area. So he was standing like kind of back where we first were when we got there. And then so Chad, he comes and sits back down at my table right here. So Chad's friend walked all the way inside from right here, and then Chad came and sat next to me and started talking to the person, because this person that came up was talking to Chad, not me. You know, like, yeah, they knew of me, but they were talking about like truck stuff, you know, and I can only talk about turbos so much before I don't want to talk about turbos anymore. But anyway, so Chad comes down, sits next to me, and he's just like acting all weird. I'm like, something's up, but he can't tell me because we have one of the people who follow us right across the table talking business with him. So I'm like, okay, cool. So Chad gets up again and goes and walks inside and stands over by his friend who is standing at this part of the bar. So Chad then all of a sudden goes into the bathrooms, which are like right here. Meanwhile, there's like tables and everything. Like obviously it's a restaurant, so just remember, like there's tables, there's a shit ton of people in this bar, like it's full. And so Chad goes into the bathroom, and I'm just like sitting with this person alone, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on here? Okay, you know, just deep breaths, trying to maintain the fact that I don't think that there's an issue, when I knew there was something going on, because Chad was just not acting like Chad. You know, like I knew Chad very, very well, and Chad was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. You could tell there was something very, very wrong. And the second that he walked into the bathroom, I texted his friend, I almost said his name, where is Chad? Like, why is Chad going in there? And I'll insert that screenshot. Okay, so Chad then walks out of the bathroom with the gentleman. Like, what? Like, he didn't go into the bathroom with this person. Like, why are they coming out of the bathroom together? And like, I'm just sitting there like, what is going on? And Chad comes and sits back down at the table, and he's like, he whispers in my ear, he's like, don't freak out, Becca. And I'm like, now I'm gonna freak out because you told me not to. Like, don't tell me not to freak out. I'm gonna freak out. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, like puffing away at my Juul, because I'm just like so stressed. I'm like, if I still smoked, I would be chiefing right now. And so Chad tells me, Becca, you need to act normal. What do you mean, act normal? Like, I'm freaking out. Anxiety at its finest, right? So about a half hour goes by, and then Chad finally tells me, okay, we have a minute. I can tell you what happened. because the other kid that, sorry, I forgot to add this part, because the other kid walked away that was sitting with us because his group of friends that were leaving. So, okay, I'm gonna pause this real quick because I want you guys to see how ridiculous my dog was. What are you doing, buddy? Are you hot? Do you want me to turn on the AC? Okay, I spilled water on my shirt, so after Chad sits down and tells me to stop freaking out and stuff, he then whispers in my ear to tell me that there's someone standing right there. And then I kind of do a little glancey glance. Yeah, there's someone dressed identical, almost identical to the guy that I was telling you about before that Chad and his friend were first talking to. So at this point, I don't know what happened or how his friend walked back over to us because he was like in the middle of talking to someone. I don't know if Chad texted him or if he finally got the message like, hey, come sit by us again, because I kept staring at him because I didn't know, like, I needed the whole group to be there. And I'm like, because I knew we had to get out of this situation. I don't know what happened, but I knew we had to get out. So now Chad's friend is back sitting at our table and it's me and Chad. All three of us are sitting there, like, trying to have somewhat of a normal conversation because until that guy left, we couldn't leave because there were people at every single exit. There was only, other than, like, the beach exit, which you can see from all of these exits, there was only 3. So we're like, okay, well, we need to go here because there's an alley that we can walk back up to where our car was. Or, you know, like you can walk, you know, down the beach a little bit from right here and go up through a hotel. Finally, this guy that's standing right there leaves. And we're like, I look at Chad, I'm like, we gotta go now. And like, Chad's friend had no idea what was going on. He was just like, what? So me and Chad go and walk onto the beach and we're like, stay here because he had to pay his tab. So we're like, of course, you know, like, well, okay, well, we're gonna be over there. Like, obviously, Chad's friend was not the main focus of this. So, me and Chad go and walk, you know, kind of down where, like, the pool for the hotel drops down to the beach. So, we are standing in, like, a little alcove, and Chad tells me, I just got robbed and held at gunpoint in the bathroom. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I would never in a million years expect someone I was with to be held at gunpoint in a fucking bathroom. So I look at Chad, I'm like, you're not lying to me, right? Like, you're not. Like, this is legit, right? Yeah. So this dude that was standing way back in the beginning, remember I told you this, he thought it was unimportant, but when Chad's friend and him were standing on that balcony and he was talking to that dude who was like city dressed in a beach environment, we were like, he goes up to and says, are you here on vacation? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I'm from, you know, X state, like this is very far away from where I live. And he's like, oh, do you like to party? And Chad was like, not really, you know, like I just came here to hang out type deal because we're not huge partiers. We don't go out to clubs and all night long. Like, we're just not I'm old now. I don't want to do stuff like that. Even though I didn't really do stuff like that before, but like it was never my thing. Anyway, so Chad tells me that this guy said, oh, well, you should come into. Chad was like, no, I'm not coming into the bathroom with you. And so that is when this guy, sorry, I just got a phone call. Anyway, back to what was going on. So the guy was like, I'm packing right now. It's something along the lines of, I have a gun right here. And then Chad immediately went into like instinct mode. And he was like, I have 2 people I'm responsible for, and he didn't know what to do. He froze. So that's when he went inside and talked to his friend at the bar. You remember when I told you that they walked over here, and before he went to the bathroom, he walked over here and he was like, hey man, that guy that was just talking to us outside said, you know, like something about that we like to party. Like, what did you tell him? And his buddy was like, oh, I didn't say that. So at this point, Chad was like, what the fuck is going on? The guy that was standing right here was over at the bathroom, and he was like to Chad. So Chad, remembering that he has 2 people here that he's responsible for, after this person just told him he has a gun, he stupidly, like I told him he was stupid for doing this, but he stupidly walked into the bathroom. I really don't want to tell this part of the story. That is apparently where this guy held him at gunpoint in a stall. Thank God he put, like, his wallet had a couple different compartments, so he only opened the compartment that had a single $100 bill in it. And because whenever he went to pay for anything, he would always just have one bill so he could, like, clamp it so you couldn't see all the other money, because for some reason this dude loves to carry on cash with him, which is just stupid on his part, and he doesn't anymore because of this. So if you learn anything from this, don't carry a large amount of cash with you if you don't have a gun on you, especially when you're going out to party, unless you want to lose it. Okay, anyway, side note. So he pulls out a $100 bill because the dude said, give me your money. And at first Chad was like, I don't have any money. Of course, you know, typical, like, I don't have any money. Chad pulls out this 100. Oh, this is all I have. This is all I have. And the dude was like, I guess this'll do. And apparently let him out. So we were kind of like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I'm sitting, like, this is making sense. When Chad's telling me this, as he has me pulled away on the beach, I'm like, okay, my hamster is like full-blown running right now. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we need to leave. We need to get out of here. But the problem was, there were still people at these exits. This person left after about a half hour of us just sitting there trying to act cool, which I don't know how cool we even looked, because I don't think I looked cool at all, because I was probably freaking out and you could see it. So we go back to Chad's friend that is sitting at this table again, because we were over here on the beach. We weren't far. We were still on ice. There was 2 people standing right here. They finally moved back over to all the people that are like kind of over here with, you could tell they were in a group. Like, you can just tell they all were dressing alike. They stuck out like sore thumbs because people weren't dressed like that down there. I looked at Chad, I'm like, this is our time. Like, we need to leave now. So they saw that we walked out, and we walked onto the beach for a quick second. We're like, okay, what way do we go? We need to get back to our vehicle, which is in parking lots, like way up here. You know, like, we have to go back up to this alley to get home. Like, it was probably like 1:30, 2 in the morning at this point. So we're like, we just want to leave. We want to go back home and go to bed because this was traumatic. We walk from the beach up this alley. Guess who's sitting in the parking lot? Mr. Chrysler 300 with red underglow. With all your friends standing around your car, waiting for us to come out because you knew that Chad had more money on him because you're a piece of shit and you wanted to rob him for what he had. You are a horrible human being. And just the fact of the pure, insane fright and fear we all had in each other when we walked up the stairs in that alleyway and saw that car. That was bad. We all freaked out. But you know what? My calm-headedness, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to this hotel directly next door, and we're going to stand in the lobby where there is a camera in front of it. So even if something happens to us, they have video recording of us being at this bar than this hotel. So we're in this hotel, and then we finally tell Chad's friend what was going on. Meanwhile, the hotel clerk, like, you know how you typically have to, like, ding ding, ring the bell for service? Like, the hotel clerk was nowhere to be found. So we didn't even have a person that we could be like, can you please call security to escort us? And at this point, we didn't want to call the cops. We're just like, we don't want a bunch of cops to show up here, because he told Chad, if you call the cops, I'm gonna kill you. So at this point, I felt like a kid. I'm like, well, shit. Here are my Cleveland instincts kicking in. What do I need to do? So I saw that, like, down a couple of hallways, you could zigzag and get out to the pool. So we zigzagged down the hallways, got into the pool, because we heard the lobby doors open. And we're like, we're not taking a chance and turning around and seeing who this person was. So we're standing outside in the pool, like behind this pool shed, like huddling, like, okay, we need to figure out a way to get back to our vehicle. I'm standing outside, meanwhile, internally freaking out, but having to remain calm because no one else is knowing what to do. And I'm like, I can think clearly if I just calm myself down. So I'm sitting there like, you know, like the whole time, because I'm just like, fuck, what did I do to get myself into this situation? We have a huddle and we're like, okay, we're gonna walk down past another establishment that we know that there's cameras outside. It was like, there was a Starbucks and I believe a bank that was by it. So we walked in front of like this Starbucks area and then walked down to where the parking lot was, to where our vehicle was. And we're like, okay, cool. No one followed us. We're good. Get in the car, lock the doors, like, we need to go back. So I don't know if you guys know how Daytona is set up, but we were on the Daytona like beach strip, and we had to cross over more so onto the main land because that's where our Airbnb was. So as we are approaching the bridge to come over one of the canals to get onto the main land, we see the same Chrysler 300 with the underglow. And I'm driving at this point because I only had 2 drinks, and I'm like, I'm the most sober out of anyone here. Chad, you just went through a traumatic ass experience, like, you need to chill. So I aspire to give the amount of fucks that Chad's friend did. So anyway, we see the Chrysler 300 at the light in front of us. So they knew we were in a vehicle. How? I have no idea. They knew we were in a vehicle. So I made the last minute decision. I'm going to pull into this gas station. We're going to sit in front of a camera until that red light like cycles. We're going to pull out. You know, like, I'm trying to get back as safe as possible. So we, you know, like, we pull out of the gas station and we pull back to the light. We cross the bridge. We see the same Chrysler with red underglow driving up and down the roads that are off the main road. Thank God these idiots had underglow. If they didn't, then I don't know what would have happened, because we probably would have pulled next to them without me even realizing. Like, how scary is that? That they were continuously looking for us. What? And so we pulled back into our Airbnb. We immediately came upstairs, locked the doors. So, if you guys take anything away from this story time and crazy experience that I went through with Chad, please be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Constantly be looking around, seeing who's around you, what's around you, where the cameras are. You know, always, whenever I sit in a restaurant, I will try and sit in the area where I can see every single exit. Like that. Have that mentality. Do not become another number. Do not become another statistic. But on a lighter note, I am so thankful that you guys have shown me so much love and support with trying to grow this channel and get it up off the ground. Like, it is seriously mind-boggling how much support, all the messages I've been getting, all the likes, the comments, you know, everything is meaning the world to me, because this is me. This is who I am. And this isn't just some show. I want to tell you guys about my life. I want you to get the good vibes that I put off. I want you to see who I am, who I surround myself with, the fun shit I do. I want you to hang out with my dog, which he was chilling right here. But anyway, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much positivity, and all of the good vibes that I possibly can. I love you guys to pieces. I hope that you have the best day that you can possibly have today. I love you guys. Have a great day.